Good evening. Welcome to Liberty University School of Nursing Doctoral Studies Information Session. I want to thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Sharon Kopis, the Chair of Doctoral Studies. I have with me to my left Dr. Dorothy Murphy, who's the Chair of the Family Nurse Practitioner Program, and to my right, Dr. Folashade Odedina, the Chair of the Psych Mental Health Nurse Practitioner Program. So I want to thank you for joining us. Looks like we have around 9-10 people online tonight. What I'd like to do once we get started tonight is if you would hold your questions till we finish. The presentation is brief. We're going to be going over the current and upcoming programs that are starting in the fall, and then you can use the Q&A feature to ask your questions. We'll repeat the questions and answer them to the best of our ability, and you can be free at that time to ask additional questions. And again, thank you for joining us. So let's open in a word of prayer. Father, we're just so thankful to come together tonight to share about our program, and we pray for each one here that you'll just guide and direct their paths as they're selecting their career path and additional studies. Lord, we just ask that you'll give them wisdom. So thank you for this evening. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. Well, I want to thank you again for coming. We're going to talk a little bit tonight about several of our programs, the new ones and the existing ones. We'll start off tonight with the Postmasters in Nursing Science of the DNP, and that's for nurses who are nurse leaders, who already have a master's, maybe are advanced practice nurses or nurse executives, or someone who has a master's and really aspires to be a nurse leader, but maybe is just starting out in their career at the unit manager level or other administrative level and really aspires to go further. And this might be a good fit for that individual. We'll go over each program in detail. I'm just going to run through them momentarily here. That program, the Post-MSN DNP, is completely online. The next one is the Post-Bachelor's, Bachelor of Science in Nursing DNP, Family Nurse Practitioner Program. And this program does require a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. And of course, all of these programs require registered nurse licensure. In the state for this program, the Post-BSN DNP, that is a Virginia program. The Post-MSN Psych Mental Health NP program leads also to a DNP, and that program also is for nurse practitioners who are wanting to add that specialty of psych mental health nurse practitioner. And the last one you see listed there is the postgraduate psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner program. That's a certificate program, so it's a little bit different. It's a one-year program, and we'll get into that in just a few moments. So again, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to dialoguing with you as we go through these programs. Let's start off with the Post-MSN DNP. This program is exclusively online. There are some optional intensives if enrollment warrants and if students are interested. We can offer a few classes in the campus residency format, but otherwise they're exclusively 100% online, which makes it very easy for your schedule. It's a 41 credit. It takes 2 years and 1 8-week term to complete, including your practicum and your scholarly project. So let me clarify with practicum. For the Doctor of Nursing Practice program, the accreditation of the Commission on Collegiate Nursing Education requires that students have at least 1,000 hours post-BSN. So that means we will evaluate each one of your transcripts individually. If you're a family nurse practitioner and bring in 600 hours, then you will have to complete 560 practicum hours. You notice it says at least. So it would mean you would not complete just 400 hours. You have to complete at least 500 at the doctoral level, and our program requires a minimum of 560. So therefore, you would complete the 560, but you wouldn't have to complete anything additionally. Sometimes a nurse might be in a nurse administrative track and only bring in about 200 hours. If that's the case, then they have to complete 800 practicum hours. We have designed the last course, Nursing 844, the last practicum course for DNP, to be able to be repeated up to 4 times. That can facilitate additional time for you to obtain additional scholarly project work or additional practicum hours. This program is approved in approved states across the country, and as we said, it's all online. The careers that you can advance to: nurse leaders, nurse executives. We have several nurse leaders, many nurse executives, and including nurse executives over large hospital systems, and clinical leaders. So maybe nurse practitioners who work with outcomes management in a clinic and patient management, then those folks will really benefit from this program as well. The post-BSN Doctor of Nursing Practice Family Nurse Practitioner program is currently offered in residential format and will be adding an online format in the fall. Excuse me, the online format will include 3 one-week campus residencies, which are tied into the FNP, Family Nurse Practitioner Practicum courses. This is 3 years full-time, year-round, 78 credits. It's an intense program, but it is very exciting and leads to a great opportunity as a career as a family nurse practitioner in primary care. It has over 1,200 practicum hours. All students will have access to the School Nursing Simulation Center, which is accredited by the Society for Simulation in Healthcare. And one of the exciting opportunities that we offer our students is not only state-of-the-art simulation equipment, but also a standardized patient program and robotics for telehealth coming in the fall. So we're really excited and very pleased. We also have a dedicated DNP, Family Nurse Practitioner Simulation Director, who works very closely with our faculty to design simulation scenarios and other supports for your skills and at the advanced practice level in our simulation center. The post-MSN Doctor of Nursing Practice Psych Mental Health program will be opening this fall. This program will be exclusively online. It's a 58 credit program and takes just a couple years to finish. Online with a little bit of synchronous class time, which will give you that opportunity to have faculty interaction and peer-to-peer interaction, including telehealth, which will be an exciting opportunity for you to interface with standardized patients and your faculty in the simulation center, just as if you were on campus. But you can do it in the comfort of your home or your office, and you can use a portable device such as a tablet, computer, or your phone even. So it's going to be a great opportunity for you to have that classroom interaction piece and also that clinical expertise and experience, but through a televised intersynchronous fashion of video. This program will enroll only certified licensed nurse practitioners. So if you're a nurse practitioner that also holds a Master of Science or doctoral level education, you can apply, and many of our nurse practitioners are in family care and they're seeing many psychiatric patients. So they want that extra layer of expertise. This would be a program that would lead to eligibility of psych mental health nurse practitioner certification and licensure for the state of Virginia. The next program that we have is the Postgraduate Psych Mental Health Nurse Practitioner Certificate. This program is 1 year, it's online, but you do have synchronous class time and again telehealth opportunities throughout your practicum. With either of the Psych Mental Health Nurse Practitioner practicums, you are trained in 2 modalities, being adult gerontology and pediatrics and child and family. You will also have opportunity to have inpatient and outpatient settings in a variety of community or hospital settings and many different opportunities to work with various types of preceptors. You will have over 500 practicum hours in your specialty in either of these programs. And again, this is for Virginia residents only. You must be a nurse practitioner trained at the master's or doctoral level to apply for this program and have obtained your licensure and certification in the state of Virginia, as well as your RN license. But again, this program will lead to eligibility as a psych mental health nurse practitioner. I do want to mention, if you're a resident of Virginia and a nurse practitioner and you are interested in furthering your degree in a psych mental health nurse practitioner certificate program, the Virginia Healthcare Foundation offers a full scholarship for nurses practitioners in the state of Virginia. This is a stipend scholarship that covers tuition and fees for your entire program. This is a great opportunity, so if you're interested in apply, be sure to reach out to us and we can give you their information as we're one of their partners. They partner with all of the major schools and we would be happy to share that information with you. My understanding is there is some opportunity for you to have to return time in service by working in an underserved area in the state of Virginia, but the full scholarship information can be found on their website, and also we have that information. Should you be interested, we can be sure to reach out to you with that information and give you a contact at the foundation. I do want to point out that if you are in a track that obtains a Doctor of Nursing Practice degree, there is a scholarly project required. This is a project that is an evidence-based practice project. It improves outcomes for patients, nursing, or healthcare systems. And we use the Iowa model at our school. There are many different models, but that's the one that we particularly have decided to use. That program takes about 40 weeks to complete for that project. You do need to have organizational support, so things that you can be thinking about, and we align those projects with the organization's strategic plan and outcome metrics that may need some attention, or something in the literature that's been identified by the organization, or other type of trigger to spear that project. You are assigned and work with the project chair or project mentor to guide that project to completion, so you have one-on-one guidance throughout the whole process. So you're not left alone to struggle, and you are also integrating coursework, which you are being facilitated by experienced faculty who have worked for many years in research and other arenas to support your project. There's two kinds of practicum in these programs. Unless you're not getting the DNP, then you just have the clinical practicum. The first type is the advanced clinical practicum, and we'll talk more about that later with the program directors that are with me tonight. But then it's your specialty practicum. That practicum will involve either in a family nurse practitioner setting with physicians, or nurse practitioners that are family practice certified, or if you're with the psych mental health track, you might be with a psychiatrist, a licensed professional counselor, psychologist, or a psychiatric nurse practitioner in a mental health care setting. So those are really great opportunities to get field experience one-on-one with live patients, and then you will also be under the guidance of a preceptor in addition to your faculty mentor. The other type of practicum is the Doctor of Nursing Practice practicum. This practicum is based on the DNP essentials set forth by the American Nurse Credentialing Certification. And this type of practicum will arrive about all of the different 6 and 8 essentials total. There's actually 8 with the clinical competencies on that for advanced practice. And they will help you to take into account informatics, intercollaboration, finance, all different types of aspects of healthcare management, and just to really be able to transform evidence into practice and lead types of intercollaborative teams to make practice changes. So it's a great opportunity to work in a field setting with teams of, from across the healthcare disciplines to make change in different practice arenas. We'll talk more about preceptor requirements. They're in our handbook, which is also online, but as we said, you would need to have physicians or nurse practitioners primarily, and for the psych mental health, perhaps counselors, but we would have a full array of all those requirements available for you. One of the benefits of a program here at Liberty is the practicum coordinator. We have a practicum coordinator embedded in the Department of Nursing and now the School of Nursing. That practicum coordinator works one-on-one with students to vet and approve the preceptor, the site, your experience. They work with ensuring that you are prepared for that site and that you've met all the site requirements for you to attend, such as any type of background check that we conduct as well, but also maybe they require. May even just be parking and just types of orientation to the organization. They ensure you have everything you need to be ready, maybe to get their electronic medical record system up and running and get access. They help you with all of that. So you really have a lot of support with that, and they make sure that you've met all of our Liberty requirements to go into practicum, your organization's and again, that everyone is approved. So it's a really great opportunity for you. And maybe you don't know of a certain area that you'd like to work and you don't know of any contacts there. We have a database of contacts that they maintain, and they can assist you with that. We also use a tracking and reporting system for learning outcomes, your hours, your activities for clinical, and that's through Typhon Group. And that's a great opportunity for you as a student because you can run reports, you can give that data to additional prospective employers. You can make a portfolio, professional electronic portfolio with that. It's a great advantage to our students to really showcase all that they've learned in our program. So you might say, why Liberty? These are just a few of the many reasons why I think Liberty is important. I've been with Liberty over 20 years as a nurse educator. I'm here because I believe in the mission of Liberty of creating champions for Christ. I believe in Christian education, but I also believe, as Dr. Falwell used to say, if it's Christian, it ought to be a little bit better. And we have an outstanding nursing program and school here at Liberty University, and also supports for students. So let's look at some of these talking points here. We have dedicated, experienced Christian nursing faculty. We have advanced practice nurses who are practicing in the field. They're leaders in their field. They're researching, they're publishing and presenting. We have nurse leaders, nurse educators, nurse executives, and an array of other nurses who have conducted research and led research in magnet facilities and helped with that in the magnet facility processes. We have outstanding student support here at Liberty University. Excuse me, we have both Liberty Online and residential advisors and student liaisons within the School of Nursing, and again, the practicum coordinator. All of these people are on your team. They're here to support you, to help you with your scheduling, your academic questions, withdrawals if you would have to withdraw or change your schedule, enrollment, advising, your admissions. They will help you walk you through that process as well. So superior one-on-one support for our students, financial aid, everything you need here at Liberty is well prepared with you at the center. We have superior library support. We have a dedicated nursing librarian in our School of Nursing. She's housed in the library, but she also spends a day with us on the campus in the School of Nursing every week during the main campus year, fall and spring. She also is available by email, WebEx, phone, and she's a great resource, not just for the scholarly project, but throughout your entire career here at Liberty. So if you are a student currently and you're not using her, her name's Joanna Loudon. I would strongly suggest you look at the library site and look her up. She's a wonderful resource for you for all of your projects, all of your assignments, and will help you to utilize the databases that we have, the many resources that we have, and how to use them efficiently and effectively to time save for you. As a busy working individual and going to school, your time's priceless. And she can help you save time in setting up folders and other types of support for your library research. The other thing also we have is access to a state-of-the-art simulation center, which includes standardized patients and teaching associates, and distance students are linked through telepresence and iDouble robots. And as we mentioned earlier, our simulation center is one of the few in the state of Virginia and in the nation that is also accredited by the Society of Simulation in Healthcare. This is a great achievement, and we just recently received it, and we're very proud of that status. But our simulation center is state-of-the-art. It will help you to provide skills, interactions with patients, not just hands-on, but also all types of equipment, and just that experience that you need to take your provider care to the next level. And keep in mind that we are linked to the classroom by WebEx, which is an excellent faculty to student interaction opportunity and also peer-to-peer support. So it's not exclusively online, it's not in isolation. You'll have opportunity to work with us and to work with your peers. So you'll get to know one another quite well, and it'll be an exciting experience for you. So to find out more, I've listed some questions with our website there and our phone number. So at this time, we'll turn it over to you all and find out how we can better support you and answer any questions that you might have. The weeks on campus are those in the summer. They're actually throughout the year. There is one in the fall, one in the summer, and one in the spring. So they're all throughout the year. There's one each of those semesters. The one in the fall and the one in the spring are in the first part of the semester, the first week for the family nurse practitioner program. And then the third one is in the last week of the summer term. All right, they asked if we could go back to the MSN DNP, so let me pull that back. And we'll get that back up real quick. All right, someone had asked could we review the post-MSN DNP. They may have had a opportunity to come in a little bit late, so I'll go back over that. The post-MSN DNP program is for master's prepared nurses who are either leaders or aspire to be a leader, or advanced practice nurses in a clinical leadership, or wanting to work in a clinical leadership, or just really want to embody and embrace that DNP role in their clinical practice. That program is 100% online, with a couple optional intensives. We oftentimes don't have enough enrollment because a lot of the folks just prefer the online, but otherwise it is 100% online. We have 41 credits. It takes 2 years and 1 8-week term usually to complete, and that includes the practicum and the scholarly project unless they have to extend for any reason, and you can repeat 844 nursing, 844 up to 3 times in addition to the first enrollment if you need additional time to complete your practicum hours, or if you need to complete for scholarly project work. You have to have at least 560 DNP practicum hours completed in our program and at least 1,000 post-BSN hours, and that's an accreditation issue at any school. So that would mean that you would have to complete additional hours. Let's say if you were in a nurse administrative program in another school or our school, and you bring in 200 practicum hours post-BSN that you've earned in your master's, that would leave you an additional 800 hours to meet that 1,000-hour post-BSN practicum hour requirement. So you would have to complete those in our program. This program is approved in approved states only, and types of careers, it could lead to different leadership roles, nurse executive roles, or clinical leader roles. Okay, the question that came up says, I'm a psych mental health NP interested in a DNP. Which program should I consider? If you are a psych mental health nurse practitioner, and from your post I'm taking it that you are educated at the master's level, but you want to obtain your DNP, then you would want to probably to choose the post-MSN Doctor of Nursing Practice, which is the slide that's up right now, the 41 credits program, which is just a little over 2 years. And that would earn your Doctor of Nursing Practice. Since you have a master or in psych mental health, most likely you've had at least 500 hours of practicum. So that would leave that you would need just the 560 practicum hours if you bring in 500 hours or more for your psych mental health nurse practitioner. Are there any limitations in the scholarly project? That's a good question. There can be limitations. We need to make sure that we are using the Iowa model and that we are using that and working with the organization, that whatever organization you select, to address something that they need. Some type of metric and trigger that they've identified that meets something along the lines of their strategic plan or their vision or mission that they need addressed. And so that is one thing we need to look at. We also have to have approval by the organization, a letter of intent to allow you to complete it, and we have to approve the project as well. A research project would not qualify. It has to be an evidence-based practice project using the Iowa model. So those are in and of themselves limitations. And the type of project has to be along the line of your specialty, or something that's going to support the DNP essentials. That's really important. The other thing is we have to make sure that the project design and methodology protects human subjects, and all projects are reviewed Many are exempt, but they are reviewed by the Institutional Review Board here at Liberty University and in your organization. So to answer your question, we work with you very closely to ensure that every opportunity is met for you to have a project that you want to do, but they must meet the essentials of the DNP. For our external accreditors, they must meet our program's essentials, and they also must meet the students' interest, obviously, but also the organization. So there are some caveats there. Okay, so miss some of the post-BSN program. Is there currently online or a mixture of campus and online? I'll let you address that, Dr. Murphy.
Yes, currently we have a residential post-BSN to FNP program that is completely residential. Many of the DNP courses are completed online. In the fall, we are launching an online FNP program to DNP post-BSN. That program will be online, and it will include 3 intensives. The 3 intensives are in the practicum courses, where we bring you into the on campus for the first week of the first semester of your first semester of practicum. Your second semester will be the first week, and then the last semester will be the last week of practicum. And during that week intensive, we will do skills labs, we will do standardized patients, we'll do focused lecture series for specific practice components, and we do teaching assistant trainers who come in and teach you how to do specialized physical exams. For the FNP DNP online program, do you know how big the cohort will likely be? The classes are 8-week classes, 8-week terms. So each FNP DNP class will have a maximum of, is it 15? 15 in a class. However, the nice thing about having 8-week term courses is that if you need to hold off for a bit, then you can skip a term and then come back in. Ultimately, it will be enrolling enrollment, so you would have that opportunity. We are going to enroll, how many we're going to enroll the first year for? 36? 36 online will be the first year's cohort. And then after that, it'll just depend upon the rate at which we go to rolling enrollment. For your intensive, your didactic courses, you'll have 15, 16 students in a online course, but your practicum courses, you will have a faculty-student ratio of 6:1.
Yeah, so with that ratio, you get a lot of really specialized attention, and that's the same for the psych mental health online program or the FNP. So in those specialty clinical courses for practicum, it's only 1 to 6. Okay, since I'm a nurse educator, how could I benefit from receiving a DNP and as an educator? Well, one of the things that we look at as a DNP Essentials is they really train that education is geared towards leaders. As an educator, you are a leader. So therefore, you will have a lot of experiences that you will attain through the DNP that will support you as a nurse educator. The other thing we offer at Liberty University, which is unique to many DNP programs, is a 4-course educator series that is designed specifically for someone such as yourself who may want to go on and use your DNP as a nurse educator. We offer a 4-course nurse educator elective series, which is based on the National League for Nursing Certified Nurse Educator competencies. Once you complete those 4 courses, including the last course, which has an educator practicum in it, you are well prepared as meeting the Certified Nurse Educator competencies as set forth by the National League of Nursing. I just attended a national conference with my colleagues over the weekend, and the folks at the National League of Nursing were very excited that we offered that 4-course series to support nurse educators in our DNP program. So that's an optional elective series, and I think that would be well suited for anyone who's a nurse educator. And actually, I've been teaching a course in that currently on curriculum and instruction design, and it's well received by those that are in it because they want to move on into nursing education. So let's see, there's another question here. Are the specific metrics that are required to be used for the practicum, are these metrics that are not acceptable? Will there be guidance for metric use? Yes, there will be guidance for metrics, and the metrics are defined by your organization primarily if you're looking for a metric, or by triggers from the literature or other type of external standards. So those are standards that we would definitely be looking at with you. And yes, you will have guidance from your chair one-on-one with that, and also throughout your coursework as you're building to getting ready to go into that scholarly project. So to answer that, yes, there's a lot of guidance all the way through, and especially towards the end before you start the project, as you're getting ready to really hone in so you can narrow that down. We have a very strong orientation to the scholarly project, as well as coursework built in from the first courses throughout the semesters, starting with your research course. It's a scaffolding of research course, evidence-based course, and a translational research course, leading up to the proposal development course. And then you will start practicum and also starting the project. But by then you're also paired with a chair and you're ready to go. And so yes, the metrics are guided and very specific, and we'll definitely be helping you with that. The next one states, so the post-MSN DNP program, is that the one I should consider? If this is the individual who spoke with us earlier stating they were the psych mental health NP, then that would, if you want you want the doctorate, then yes, that would be the one that would tie in the best to support you with that. And also for nurse educator, that would be an opportunity for you. It depends on what type of education you want to pursue and your institution that you want to work in. So that would be something you would want to explore. I think the DNP serves educators very well, but it also, depending on where you want to work, you might want to explore an EDD or a PhD, depending on their requirements for your educational role. It says here, is there a plan for a DNP to PhD bridge type of program? It's been talked about. There is nothing yet formalized, but yes, it's been talked about and it's being looked at. So as soon as we have more information on that, we'll be sure to roll that out. And I appreciate you asking about that, because it's something I'm very interested in. It's bringing to Liberty. How many instructors are involved in the MSN DNP program? I don't have an exact number. I think there's around 25. And I don't have an exact number. That includes full-time and part-time faculty. It says, is there a practice time requirement for RN or NP prior to admission? Not for NPs, but there is for RNs. For the post-BSN, it's 2 years of experience. How many faculty members are APRN? It's around 10, I believe. I don't have it off the top of my head. I believe it's around 10 to 12 because we have part-time adjuncts as well as full-time faculty. We do not have any CNSs at this time. They're all advanced practice, primarily nurse practitioners.
The Psych NP program is going to, the DNP and the certificate program will be starting in the fall, and it's going to be online, as she said earlier. There will be various classes. There will be psychopharmacology class, which is specifically tailored to psych mental health medications. Also, there's going to be neurobiology and theoretical framework of practice, that psychotherapy frameworks and modalities. And then you will have 2 practicums. Those are the components of the certificate program, and then the DNP part is the one she discussed earlier. Let's see. Basically, very straightforward. Since the students would have been nurse practitioners, it's just adding the psych component to it, and just 5 classes, and they should be able to finish up and sit for the certification. And the certificate program is only 1 year.
Yes.
And the DNP, Psych NP, DNP will be, how many?
It's 58
will be
credits.
58 credits. That takes about 2 years.
Okay, the question is, if I'm an FNP, DNP already, but wanted to do a postdoc psych mental health NP, how long would that take, and what would I need to take?
That would take about a year. 3 of the classes will be is a synchronous class whereby you take the neuro biological basis of mental health in the B term, and then the D term you will take the theoretical framework and also the pharmacology. So then in the summer you will take the practicum, the first practicum, and then in the fall, in the spring, in the spring, then you take practicum 2. Basically, you have 2 semesters in the summer to complete the certificate program.
Its next question says, what is the cost per credit for the MSN DNP? The DNP classes are $570 per credit. And the next question says, would I have to repeat the 3 Ps? They do not expire, but they need to be across the lifespan. So if you've had them in your program previously across the lifespan, you're in good shape. The credentialing body, CCNE, requires that these courses come in and that our clients, our students have had them across the lifespan. So as long as they're across the lifespan, you should be good to go.
The psychopharmacology is the only one that you have to take, not the regular.
Right. If you're in the psych mental health nurse practitioner program, you do have to take the psych pharmacology, which is specific for psychiatric care, and that meets the credentials for that certification. It's additional competencies in psychiatric drugs. It says, is it feasible to take 1 to 2 classes per semester and complete in 2 years for the MSN DNP? The MSN DNP is 2 years and 1 8-week term, so yes, most of the times you are taking 1 class per 8-week term, so that ends up being 2 classes per semester. So yes, it's very doable in that time frame. The next question says, can the psych mental health be done as a postmaster's, or do I need to do it as a DNP?
That would depend on if you already have, there might be some students coming in that they have the DNP and FNP and they just want the certificate program. So if for that candidate, they will need the certificate program. They won't need to take the psych mental health DNP. For those that are coming in with just the FNP and no DNP, then you can do the psych mental health and DNP.
Right, and I do want to add that to come into the psych mental health NP programs, you must already be a nurse practitioner licensed and certified, in addition to RN licensed in the state of Virginia for either of the pathways. So if you're looking at postmasters and you want to add the DNP, you don't have to add the DNP, but you do have to have a certification as a nurse practitioner to add that psych in as a certificate. So if we didn't answer your question, that's for Ray. Let us know and we'll try to cover it again. Then the next question says, is there a nurse educator certificate program that can be added to the programs? If so, how long is it? We have the 4-course educator series. It is not, it's 2 courses. It's 1 course each 8 weeks. So it is 2 semesters long for those 4 courses. But it is not a separate certificate. It's just an educational educational elective series. And then the next question says, can the post-BSN DNP program be completed on a part-time status? And if so, how long is that program or that status? Do you want to take that?
Sure. The DNP, the post-BSN DNP program residentially is currently, the degree completion plan is a full-time residential status. The online also is laid out as full-time. However, we do not have a part-time progression plan, but if you would like to choose certain classes to take, for example, some of the core DNP essential classes, and spread out your time, that would be something that could be worked work with Dr. Kopis to set forth that plan. We do not have a published part-time progression at this time, though.
Right, but the DNP can be spread out over 5 years. The university does require that you complete it within 5 years, so you could expand that to almost double the time of a traditional program. Since I recently completed my postmaster's certificate in nursing education. So if you're looking at adding a DNP, I'm not sure if you are, but it would be a 2-year program to add that. And if you've already got a postmaster's certificate in nursing education, you would not want to add those 4 courses because you've already had that content for nursing education. So you could finish your DNP in 2 years in one 8-week term. And this one says from Ray, just to be clear, I do not have to pursue a DNP. Can I just do the psych mental health certificate if I'm already an NP? Yes, you can. You do not have to have a DNP added on. You can just complete the certificate. If you're already a nurse practitioner, you can do a post-NP MSN psych mental health certificate 1-year program. Same question, but what if I have an MSN in administration and want to do a postmaster's psych without a DNP? If you have if you have an MSN in administration, we do not have a psych mental health program from the baccalaureate level. We would have to have there are other courses that you would have to have, and we don't offer that at this time. So that would not meet up with our educational offerings right now. We are only offering for folks who are already nurse practitioners. We don't have it from the BSN or MSN level as a non-provider coming in. Since I was also interested in an MSN nurse educator program, could I bridge over to the DNP FNP program? The classes do not overlap. You could pursue an MSN nurse educator program and obtain your MSN. Once you completed that, then you would go ahead, and there is a fast track from our MSN Nurse Educator program. We do offer that here at Liberty. Dr. Diane Bridge is the chair of that program, and we can definitely get you in contact with her for further information. But you can definitely do a fast track right on to the DNP FNP. So you don't have to go through the full application program as long as you transfer over within a year. So we could definitely assist you with that. But the classes are separate because you're getting 2 different levels of education. But the application process is much streamlined, and we can definitely assist you with that to bridge on. Right now, we usually are taking in students spring and fall, and that will probably change to more frequently as enrollment increases in the programs. But right now we take in students spring and fall. For the clinical tracks, the post-MSN enrolls every 8 weeks. So the post-MSN DNP is on rolling enrollment and enrolls every 8 weeks. So you can always pick up a class, or if you need to sit out a term and then pick back up. But the clinical tracks are every spring and fall right now. So we want to thank you all for joining us this evening. We look forward to following up with each one of you, and thank you again for your time this evening.